everyone. Welcome back to the show. Mark, you won't believe what I've been diving into this week.
Oh yeah, Jenny? Hit me with it. You know I love a good tech rabbit hole.
So picture this. Schools, right? They're like these digital fortresses these days, full of student data. But what happens when those fortresses get breached? I'm talking cybersecurity in schools. Specifically after those massive data breaches we've been hearing about.
Oh man, this is right up my alley. You're talking about the Granite School District breach, right? 450,000 student records exposed? That's insane.
Exactly. And it's not just Granite. Schools all over Utah are dealing with this. It's like, we're in 2025, shouldn't we have this figured out by now?
You'd think so, but here's the thing about cybersecurity. It's a constant arms race. Hackers get smarter, so security needs to get smarter too. It's like, you know in those old spy movies, when they have those laser grids? You gotta keep upgrading them because the spies learn to limbo under them.
Laughs, times. Okay, I see what you mean. So what are these schools supposed to do? Build digital Fort Knoxes?
Well, kind of. There are some best practices that are basically like the digital equivalent of those laser grids. One of the big ones is multi-factor authentication. You heard of that?
Yeah, isn't that like when you have to enter a code from your phone after you type in your password?
Totally. It's like having 2 locks on your door instead of 1. So even if someone guesses your password, which, let's be honest, most people's passwords are like password 123.
Hey, mine is not that bad.
Chuckles. Okay, yours is probably super secure. But the point is, with multi-factor, even if they get your password, they still need that second key, like a code from your phone or a fingerprint scan.
Okay, that makes sense. But is that really enough to stop these massive breaches?
It's a huge step. I was just reading this report from the Utah School Security Task Force, and they said multi-factor can reduce the risk by up to 99%. It's like the difference between a screen door and a steel vault.
Wow, 99%? That's a big deal. But what about this zero trust thing I keep hearing about? It sounds kind of unfriendly.
Haha, right? It sounds like something out of a dystopian novel. But it's actually a really smart approach. Basically, zero trust means the system doesn't automatically trust anyone, even if they're inside the network.
So even if you work at the school, you're still treated like a potential threat?
Exactly. Every time you try to access something, it's like, hold on, prove who you are again. It's kind of like those checkpoints in video games, where you have to show your ID every time you enter a new area.
Okay, that makes sense. So if a hacker does manage to get in, they can't just roam around freely in the system?
Precisely. It limits their movement, like containing a spill to one room instead of letting it flood the whole house. This is super important in schools because they have so much sensitive data.
Yeah, and I learned that student data is apparently way more valuable to hackers than adult data. Like 4 to 6 times more valuable, according to Representative Ryan Wilcox.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. It's because kids have clean credit histories, so it's easier to steal their identities. It's messed up.
It really is. So, zero trust helps protect that extra valuable data by making it harder to access?
Right. And then there's the whole idea of risk assessments, which is basically like doing regular checkups on your security system.
So, like a digital doctor's appointment?
Exactly. You're looking for any weaknesses, any digital cavities that need to be filled before they become a bigger problem.
That's a great analogy. It sounds like this is all about being proactive instead of reactive.
Totally. And one expert, Kevin Lopez, who used to be the IoT director for the state of Utah, he put it really well. He said, cybersecurity isn't just doing one thing, it's a mindset.
I like that. It's like you can't just put a lock on your door and think you're safe. You have to be aware of your surroundings, keep things updated.
Exactly. It's an ongoing process. And honestly, it's not just about schools. These are principles everyone should be thinking about for their own digital security.
That's so true. I mean, we all have so much of our lives online these days. It's a little scary, but it's also empowering to know that there are things we can do to protect ourselves.
Totally. And it's going to be really interesting to see how schools keep adapting their security in the coming years. I bet we'll see even more advanced stuff, maybe even AI getting involved in threat detection.
Oh, that's a whole other episode right there. But for now, I think the big takeaway is that cybersecurity is not just an IT issue, it's a everyone issue.
Absolutely. And if you're a student, parent, or teacher, it's worth having a conversation about these things, you know? Ask about the security measures at your school.
Great advice, Mark. Well, this has been super informative, as always. I feel a lot more prepared to navigate this digital world.
Me too, Jenny. Until next time, stay safe out there, everyone.
And keep those digital doors locked. Bye.